Just a quick word today. So super smoky out here. This is the apple tree in the backyard here. Sorry for all the wobbly camera action. So much to do over these next few days. It's very hard to keep up when you're homeschooling your children and you're trying to harvest and preserve as much as humanly possible. I'd like to share something that's been on my heart and been on my mind lately regarding the fact that we, on a global scale, by the leaders of the world, are being gaslighted or gaslit. Gaslighting is a term that many of us have come in contact with in studying narcissistic behavior. And psychopaths will also gaslight their victims. And gaslighting is when they present to you a sort of word salad. And word salad is a jumble of words and of meanings, and they seem to contradict each other, and eventually they manipulate you, the narcissist, through methods of manipulation to think you're going crazy. You're the one going crazy. When in fact what they're doing most of the time is they are giving you contrary feedback on a regular basis. So they'll say one thing and they'll do another. The hypocrisy, They will change the story as it goes along. They'll tell you one story and then it'll go along. And right now we have a situation where the so-called professionals are telling us one thing and then 2 days later it's something else. Where it's okay to protest and be a Black Lives Matter supporter in the streets burning stuff up, but it's not okay to protest some of the laws that are being, or not even laws, they're not laws, some of the ways that they are imposing. Oh, here comes a chainsaw. The neighbors must be doing something. Maybe we'll go visit the chickens. They are imposing upon us their totalitarianism, their domination, which is satanic, because they want our free will. Domination's always satanic. But they are switching the story up all the time. It is gaslighting. We are being gaslit constantly by these narcissist psychopaths at the top, period. And James speaks about a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. And we are being initiated into the idea of being double-minded, and that being double-minded is normal. That being in cognitive dissonance and staying there is normal. Now, most people can't stay in cognitive dissonance, and cognitive dissonance is when you're holding two belief systems, two separate contrary ideas in your mind at the same time. And what they're doing is they're normalizing that. And what cognitive dissonance is, and what it does, is usually a person cannot hold two contrary ideas at the same time in their mind. They can't straddle the fence. There's a lot of fence sitters I know that like to do that, but they're unstable in their mind. And we all are. We need to have something solid in our mind. We need to, this is either good or this is either bad. The gray stuff doesn't last for long and it makes you unstable. And so what they want to do is keep us in a state of unstable mental capacity. They want us to be able to hold two contrary things in our mind at once, because ultimately they want to turn what is bad into good. Breaking bad. Breaking bad? Breaking the idea of bad. Breaking the concept that bad is bad. So I wanted just to bring this up, that we are being gaslit on a major global sense, and that we need to realize what that means. We need to not be in cognitive dissonance or fall into cognitive bias, because there's a whole other thing. Cognitive bias is when you look at the facts and you decide to fall back on a previous belief system that was inaccurate because you can't deal. And I'm seeing a lot of people that can't deal with the truth. They don't really want the truth. Most people don't want the truth because it costs you something. You have to give up something. And a lot of times it's a humbling experience. And people don't want to be humble. They want to be God. They want to be the gods of their life, just like the lie in Genesis that the serpent put on you, that you are God. You are a God of your own life. And we have free will, and that's something different. But I want to stay on course here. So do not be gaslit. Do not allow these narcissist psychopaths to put you into cognitive dissonance so that you become confused and that you become unstable, because that confusion and that instability is actually what they want. Because as soon as you're confused and you're unstable in your brain, you can be manipulated so easily, and everybody's being manipulated here. Things have changed so much. First they said this about this pandemic, so-called pandemic, and then they say this, and it's like Orwell, okay? When Orwell's book 1984, when they were talking about how they change history on a daily basis. So one day they'll say, you know, this happened today in the town of whatever, and then the next day they will say, you know, the opposite happened of whatever happened. And what they do is they constantly are making a statement and then going against that statement, making a statement, going against that statement. And it causes the people reading it, it causes the people listening to go into that state that I'm telling you about, the crazy making state when you're being gaslit, where you're now in cognitive dissonance and you do not have anything to hold on to. You don't know where you are. You're confused, and now you're just putty in their hands to be manipulated. And you'll just believe whatever they say. This is the narcissist's trick. They always do. They always do this, and makes you in a position where you are crazy and you are the one that needs them to tell you what is what, because you don't even have a clue anymore. Because they told you up was down yesterday and now down is up. People, we are being manipulated. This is psychological warfare on a mass scale. On a mass scale. Now is the time to figure out where you stand with who you stand and be solid. If thy eye be single, we are not to be double-minded, and we are. That's why good men can do bad things and bad men can do good things. There is no such thing as like a person that's 100% bad or 100% good. What do they say about psychopaths who end up murdering people? Oh, they were the nicest guy. They would do this, they would do that. They were so helpful. They say that because not one person here is 100% anything. Like, we are double-minded when we're in the flesh. We must get into the spirit of Jesus Christ, Yahushua HaMashiach, because he is the truth, the life, and the way. And finding the true one in this days of deception, there's a whole other thing, because there's a lot of phony Christs out there. A lot. It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me. You are your own Christ. No, you're not. No, you're not. And my little girls. Some of my girls. Hi, girls. Anyways, if you guys are interested in hearing more about what I've learned through reading the Bible and what I've learned about watching psychopaths and narcissists take over the world, let me know in the comments, because I have learned a lot about narcissists and learned a lot about how they manipulate us. And I think now is the time to be as wise as the serpent and gentle as a dove. God bless you all. May we all have clear hearts, clear minds, focused on the kingdom that is at hand. May you be blessed. Peace.